Hello, welcome back to my channel, Value Investment with Manan Shroff. Today, one of the group member asked me about NVDA, and trust me, to evaluate NVDA is it's really hard because we have to factor both qualitative and quantitative things, and we are relying on the future. So I will try my best to get price range for NVIDIA, and also will show you that like I have a huge position in NVIDIA in my portfolio, around about 10% of my portfolio. Average price is around $200. So I like NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA's future. The only problem with NVIDIA right now, it's a number. And those numbers, even at $150, I think NVIDIA is trading it today at $160. I have spent over about $205 per share. So you can see that NVIDIA is at $160 is very expensive. And I have spent $50 over. The reason why I did that, I will show you. So the first, if you look into the qualitative side of NVIDIA, NVIDIA has a very dominating position in chips and data center, and their major revenue is from those two things. And then they also have their chips going into the Bitcoin and other digital currency production. So that thing is right now is it's right now not doing well, the Bitcoin, I mean, the digital currency. But let's look into the NVIDIA and what the NVIDIA is trying to do. I have seen a dozen of video of NVIDIA CEO, GN. And anytime, like if you want to learn more about the company, you can always go to the profile, go to their website, and go to the presentation. Here I only found the quarterly earning presentation, but I mean, it's also impressive. I mean, total revenue up 46%. That data center, that is a major thing. It's 83% up. But apart from these two, NVIDIA also is going to do amazing thing in artificial intelligence. So, but these are like shooting arrows in the dark, because this thing happen in the future and we don't know how successful that will be. For example, if you think about internet, nobody would have knew 20 years ago that you can purchase stuff on the internet. And right now, the e-commerce digital sales is the biggest thing for any company. But if you look on other side, like a Google Glass, they come up with the things that did not work out well. So NVIDIA is right now is a talk because of the metaverse. People think the metaverse is the next huge thing, like internet. And like Facebook, NVIDIA, Roblox, these companies are going to play a major role in metaverse. So let me tell you a little bit about NVIDIA, what NVIDIA is trying to do. When I heard his CEO interview, So basically, NVIDIA is trying to do that. They're trying to create virtual world. So just imagine the virtual world means it's going to be world on the internet. And it has it's completely digital twin copy of our physical world. It's a little bit complicated to understand, but just think about that you can see your street like in a Google map, or I'm sorry, not Google map, but when you see from the Google iBird, and then they will show you the front part of your house and stuff like that. And then you can drag it around and it show you the virtual, what are other neighbor houses and stuff like that. So NVIDIA is going to do exactly the same thing. So basically, just think about that. It's going to copy the entire world, not just USA, entire world in a digital twin. Now you can amaze with that. Just think about that this way. That required so much powerful chips for graphics, for data, and NVIDIA is working on it. And why it's doing that is they showed us one of the example. His CEO is very smart, and my half money is on his CEO. He is so smart. He's thinking in a future like 10, 15 years from now, and he's great. And what he explained is this, that think about that you have a company or you are making cars and you have a robotic plant for making cars. What they will do is whatever your physical plant, including the robots, every single thing, they're going to copy the exact same thing in a virtual world. Okay, so just think it's your entire operation from making car from beginning to end process will be on the virtual world. What does that benefit? So let's say there is a production problem and you are not able to identify. On the physical world, it would be a lot more challenge than digital world. So in the digital world, these people try to solve that problem. Once they solve that problem on a digital twin factory, they will input that resolution into physical world. So they will figure it out from, let's say, where does the production is getting cut off, like from process A to B is working fine, process B to C is going fine, and then from C to D, there are 500 robots. And there somewhere is the problem. So from going C to D on a virtual digital factory, they will easily figure it out which robot is not working properly and why it's not working properly. Then they will implement the solution on a digital side. If the digital side shows the improvement, then they will apply that solution to the physical world. So it's a little bit complicated, but it's very interesting. And that's why the NVIDIA, you cannot calculate the price based on quantitative analysis, because there is a huge future relying on that. The only problem, we don't know if NVIDIA executes successfully or not, or if mankind take this digital world approach successfully. So with that says, you can get a little bit background that NVIDIA is more kind of trying to do the very powerful artificial intelligence chips, powerful graphic chips, powerful CPU, powerful, because just think about that when you copy the entire world or the digital twin world on a data side, I mean, it requires so much processing. And that's where the NVIDIA is. So I have this much understanding about NVIDIA. I don't have that much. My background is pharmacy. I'm not a technology guy and I'm not smart enough like NVIDIA CEO, but I understood some parts. So what I would do with NVIDIA is, this is a disclaimer I supposed to show you in the beginning. Okay, so what we'll do with NVIDIA, it's I go to, as usual, the statistic. Okay. In the statistic, see the trailing P and forward P is over 40. Okay. Most time I don't want to go for companies like NVIDIA, Google, PayPal, Facebook, 30 times, over 30. In my portfolio, there are two companies that have the exception, Amazon and NVIDIA. But forward P to trailing P is not the big problem. My big problem is enterprise value to EBITDA. Here, this number should be around 20 or 20, 22 or 20. It's way over. Okay, so of course, NVIDIA in the quantitative side is expensive. There is no doubt about that. Now we have to think about this way that in order to NVIDIA, you want to purchase, either you have to wait until it drops to $90 because the enterprise value you want to, this enterprise value over here should be around 200 billion in a conventional financing growth technology company. But again, that's why I said it's hard for me to evaluate NVIDIA because it is definitely over expensive. But many times in your investing career, you have to make certain decision based on invisible PE. The invisible PE definition is from Mohnish Pabrai. Is one of the Pabrai fund manager. And what does it mean? Invisible PE means that within 5 years, NVIDIA's trailing and forward PE, if you have bought it NVIDIA at $158, would somewhere going to be around 2015 because you bought it at $158 and companies making a lot more money within 5 years than they are making today. So just think about that. I have bought this one for $209. Now my average price is $205 or $209. Okay, so I'm still happy. I don't have money to add more, and there are other bargain opportunities available. But to deal NVIDIA, I will show you there is a way we can use the margin of safety, which is the Warren Buffett concept. So when you are uncertain about certain things, you add margin of safety. What does the margin of safety do is, if your assumption is wrong, you don't get hit badly. And that's what its margin of safety is. So on this side, return on asset side, it's great. 19% is just making. Return on equity is 42%, which is very great. Profit margin, operating margin is good. Revenue is good, 30 billion. cash is 20 billion and debt is only 11.85 billion. So they don't have a debt. They have a net cash balance about 8 billion. So looking at all this, still we would not be able to find it out the good price. I mean, if you look on the conventional financing side, probably I can pay 30 times PE. And if you see, they don't have it here. Okay, let's see statistic. Or I can just go up to enterprise value to EBITDA. Let's see enterprise value to EBITDA for Microsoft. How much is it? So enterprise value to EBITDA for Microsoft is about 20. What about Apple? 21. So NVIDIA falls into that kind of category, and you can give a little bit more EBITDA, like 25 times. But the way what I'm playing with NVIDIA is in the next 10 years, NVIDIA will make a lot more money. Now, the question is, what I have bought NVIDIA, it's also overpriced. Okay, so how do I do the margin of safety? So whenever you're trying to do company like NVIDIA, you should think about writing covered call, because that's the only way you can reduce your exposure. I mean, you can reduce your loss. For example, if you buy for 100 share of NVIDIA, so you are spending about $16,000. $15,900 you are spending. But I know that NVIDIA is on the, I mean, the pinpoint, if I have to tell you that NVIDIA should be traded around 85 or 90, which would not happen. Or if it happens, then it's a mistake from my side too. But I doubt that would happen. So now I have bought NVIDIA. So what I'm doing is, as soon as I bought NVIDIA, I'm going to write the covered call. And covered call, you can write for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I write it for 1 year, okay, because I don't want to look every month. And so I like to write for 1 year, but you can write it for 1 month. So basically what I will do is, we know that NVIDIA is expensive, no doubt about it. But the question is, but if Metaverse executed very well, then NVIDIA will make you a lot of money. There is uncertainty, but there is a high reward. So what I will do is, I go to, whenever I buy this type of company, you have to learn about covered call. The covered call is the only thing that will help you to reduce your loss. And while the company is reaching up to its potential, the peak of potential, you can remove cash from the company. So with that said, that let's see NVIDIA. What I will do is, I will go to the NVIDIA. I want to keep NVIDIA for long term, definitely, right? So I will show you my my covered call I wrote for June 16, okay? So I wrote it back in June, and I wrote it for 1 year. Okay, and I use the same thing. I want to do the delta 30. So if I'm buying today here, this is delta 54. I'm saying that, I think this is, I have to change. Okay. Okay, so I'm buying here, and 1 year from now, which is June 2023, what I'm doing is I'm going for delta 30. So what I will say that, okay, I will write covered call and I will say, I will sell it out for $220 within a 1 year. Remember, I want to keep it for long term. I don't want to sell. I am making income from it. I am reducing my exposure to loss. I'm reducing if I'm incorrect. And there are a lot of if with NVIDIA. So here what happened that you can see other my videos how to write the covered call, but I will receive $1,000 premium here for one contract. So right away, what happened that my 15,900 exposure now become 14,900, and my purchase price is down now by $10. So it's 149. Think about that. If I keep doing this for next 5 years, delta 30 is hard. It may reach sometime. At that point, you can decide to sell. If you want to sell, you have a good profit from here to here. If it's an IRA account, you would sell it and buy back again. But if it's a regular account, and if you don't want to sell, you can roll out the option. But this is what I'm doing right now with NVIDIA. I'm collecting the premium. And so when I wrote my contracts, I have a lot of NVIDIAs. So when I wrote my contracts, my contract is expiring June 2023. And my strike price is $240. My purchase price is $205. And I received tremendous amount of premium. That premium I have utilized to buy the other companies. Now, that's why I've been keep saying that for NVIDIA-like companies, you must have to write the covered call. I mean, the only way the covered call will make this investment little bit less risky. Because on the quantitative side, I know definitely it's expensive. I mean, enterprise value to EBITDA are 45 times. But on qualitative side, what they are doing, only few companies can do. And I'm not sure even any other company can do in that segment. I mean, Facebook is completely different from NVIDIA. So their metaverse approach is different. NVIDIA is more on the back-end side, where they provide chips, storage, graphic processing unit, and stuff like that, where Facebook is front end of metaverse. Roblox is the same way, is a front end of the metaverse. So just think about that. If you can write, because you in this type of company, you get a good amount of premium. So what I'm eyeing on the premium. So let's say you can do this for 5 years, and every single time you get a $10 premium. Within 5 years, your cost of $160 will drop down to $110. In that time, the NVIDIA is making, let's say, $20 or something, or I'm sorry, $5 or $10. The P fall down to 20 times or 15 times. And that's the only way you can play with NVIDIA. So for me, I would, if you ask me, in the nutshell, if you ask me, should I buy on NVIDIA at this price? Yes, it's expensive, but you should. You should go for it. $159. I know it's expensive. You should go for it. What you have to do is you have to write covered call until NVIDIA hits the peak of its potential. And that will happen. Now, within, let me give you this warning. Within 2 years, if NVIDIA didn't do well, what everybody is expecting, then NVIDIA is going to, his price going to come down. People are not going to pay you enterprise value to EBITDA 45 times. They may start it to value differently. And that time, so you should have one thing in mind that, first of all, keep in mind that this is a long-term investment. If you are trying to get in and get out within 6 months, there are chances that you will lose money. So with that said, I will buy NVIDIA right now. My purchase price is $205. So that time enterprise value to EBITDA was around 55 or 60. And I still bought it, right? But if you are a conservative investor, and if you just want to follow the value investment, then NVIDIA is not for you. Because qualitative side, it's a great company. It has a great potential, but the number side is not matching up with your expectations. So you are definitely paying high price to enter into NVIDIA, even at $159. So I would say, if you want to take chance, think about it. I have a 10% of my portfolio in NVIDIA, and I'm pretty much sure that within 10-15 years, I will make a lot more money. But again, word of caution that if it doesn't happen, then you will lose the money. So with that, again, if you're a conservative investor, go for something else. Cheaper option like Micron, which is very cheap, but it doesn't have that much exposure like NVIDIA to Metaverse. Applied Material, very good, less than 10 times PE. But if you believe in the future, and if you believe in the CEO of NVIDIA, which I do believe in Jensen. I have seen his so many interviews, and he's a terrific guy. I mean, he can think 15 years ahead. In that case, I will buy NVIDIA. And that's why I bought NVIDIA, because his CEO's vision is far. It's like Elon Musk looking way ahead in the future. So with that, I will conclude my presentation. If you like my presentation, please subscribe my channel. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm getting advertisement revenue from Google, which I am planning to donate other people, needy people. So please, if you really like the video, please subscribe. That helps me and other people. And with that, goodbye, and I will come back with a few more videos.